and welcome to Business at Tiffany's. I am your host, Tiffany Johnson, and with me I have the pleasure of introducing the SCORE chair of the San Antonio chapter, Mr. Joe Polichino. And I want to tell you, SCORE is an amazing opportunity for small business owners. I started with SCORE many years ago and was introduced because I was starting a business and didn't know where to go. I had questions and I didn't know how to get financing and start my business plan. All of these are key to being able to move your business forward. So I am so excited to introduce Joe to you guys. And Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up with SCORE.
Well, I am a serial entrepreneur. That's how I describe myself. I have started or owned over 24 businesses in my career. My first business I started at the age of 15 with my two dear friends. And from there, it just caught my imagination, I think, about, gee, you can just about do anything if you just put your mind to it and have the right resources and advice. So when I joined my family's business, I'd just gotten out of college, and I started working with my father and my uncle and my brothers. You know, it was a typical family business, an Italian family business, which is even crazier. And my dad sent me to a SCORE workshop on accounting because I didn't have any knowledge about accounting at all. And at the end of the 2-day workshop, I said to myself, you know what? When I grow up, I want to do what this guy's doing. I want to do these workshops. So that was my first exposure to them. Fast forward about 30 years, and I had sold my last business and was in a mall. And they had a big exhibit going on in the mall, and there was a SCORE table there. So the chairman of the Houston chapter grabbed me by the elbow when I told him my story, and he said, sign here. And I became a SCORE volunteer at that time. And that's 17 and a half years ago.
Oh, wonderful. And what a blessing it's been to our chapter. And Joe, can you tell us a little bit about SCORE? What is SCORE? How long has it been in existence? And how does it help small businesses and entrepreneurs?
Well, SCORE was started in 1964. Originally, it was made up of only retirees. That has changed, thank goodness, over the last 10 years. And now we have people who are all ages, people who are retired, people who are still employed, people who own their own businesses. We are a resource partner to the Small Business Administration, which basically means that we are partially funded by the SBA. And then we have to also raise funds from sponsors and supporters to carry out our mission. There are over 300 chapters in the country with over 10,000 volunteers, and it is an all-volunteer organization. Our mission is to foster vibrant business communities through mentoring and education. Last year, in 2018, SCORE nationally started over 32,000 new businesses, and in San Antonio, we helped start up 164 new businesses that created 153 non-owner jobs. And that's a very important issue because to build the business communities anywhere, you know, that creates new wealth, it creates new taxes, it creates new jobs. So it's really something that a volunteer organization has such a great impact. The SCORE chapter provided over 2,500 total services, which means mentoring sessions and workshop attendees. So the organization is very impactful. We are a very diverse organization in San Antonio. 40% of our clients are Hispanic, 28% are white Anglo, 26% are African American, 3% are Asian, 54% male, 46% female, and 48% are veterans. That's a good description, a little profile of all of our clients that we deal with.
That is amazing. And the diversity and you guys, the San Antonio chapter isn't just in San Antonio, right? How far does the San Antonio chapter reach?
Well, as far as we can get away with, basically. Of course, we are right next to Austin, and they have a chapter there. I live in Fredericksburg, and actually, originally, there was some talk about whether I belonged to the Austin chapter, but it turned out, thank goodness, I do not. So we have a chapter down in Corpus Christi within this district. We have one in Harlingen, which we call the Rio Grande Valley chapter. Our chapter is currently helping open a new chapter in Laredo.
Oh, wonderful. That
And
is
then, of course,
wonderful.
I was in Houston. Houston is the largest chapter in the country. And then Dallas, just about any major city has a chapter.
Wonderful. And like you mentioned, SCORE is located all over Texas and all over the United States. So anyone that's listening, whether they're in Washington State or Washington, D.C., Florida, Texas, California, they can reach out and find a SCORE mentor or a representative anywhere.
Yes. If they just go to score.org, O-R-G, they can look up a chapter, the chapter that's closest to them. We even use mentors from other states when we're dealing with a client in San Antonio, for instance. I may have a client who has a specific need, which I don't have anyone in my chapter that has that kind of knowledge. Well, I can call Seattle and get a mentor to co-mentor, maybe just 1 or 2 sessions, but at least we can provide our client and help them with their needs by using our 10,000 member throughout the country.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing. I want to rattle off some statistics
Sure.
just so our listeners can have an idea of the impact of small businesses. You've touched on how SCORE can definitely help the small businesses, but I want to put this into a much bigger perspective for our listeners. So small businesses make up about 30 million businesses within the United States. And of that, of all of the businesses, that equates to about 99.9% of businesses that are considered small businesses, which are have employees of less than 500. But of that as well, approximately 50% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. So I want to touch on that also, because some of the reasons that they fail is lack of having a business plan, lack of being able to locate and access finances, having a vision, having a clear niche or target market. And all of these things are issues that SCORE is able to assist with. So I want to make that very clear as well for our listeners. If they're struggling or if they're thinking about starting a business, SCORE is there to help. And the best part is, Joe, how much does SCORE cost to mentor?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. So if we can improve and promote the awareness of SCORE and the capabilities and the just the support alone that that helps small businesses, then we all together can move that number of successful businesses to a greater number. So if you would kind of touch on some of the main concepts. You do mentoring, you do workshops and so forth. Can you go into some of those to describe what they are and what they entail?
Sure. I'm going to preface my comments with this statement. No one has a bad idea, but many ideas are poorly researched.
Right.
And that's how I mentor my clients. Any client can have an idea. It may be something as common as they want to start a yard service,
Mhm.
or it may be as complicated as starting up a tech company. And what we try to do is our role is to listen, to question, to assess and analyze, and to test the ideas of our client. In other words, we're going to keep questioning the client to make sure they have thoroughly thought through what they want to do, have thought through what their client, their customers may be like, where their customers are, and so forth. That's what we do in our mentoring role. We mentor clients in several different ways too. We mentor one-on-one, which would be Tiffany and Joe. We can mentor one-on-many, which would be mentoring several partners at the same time. We mentor many-on-one, where we might have 3 different mentors helping one client. And then we also do many-on-many, where we would be counseling or mentoring a chain of food service places. I've done this before with Jimmy John's. So we mentor in every way you can imagine. And then we also have online resources where we can, we'll have a client go to our chapter or go to the national office and pull down certain tools that will help them in their business plan and in their growth plan or marketing plan, whatever it may be. And we also have mentoring available in Spanish. One of the best things about SCORE, I guess, to me is we are your mentor for life. We don't just give you a couple of sessions, 3 sessions, and then turn you loose. We're there 5 years down the line. If you have significant issues or you want to grow your business or expand it, you get right back with us. We have you in our system. And any mentor, not just myself, but any mentor could pick up where I left off.
I love that. And I love that you're a partner for life. And a lot of people don't understand that. As I was looking through the system for the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it showed how each year the number of survival decreased. But with the awareness of SCORE and knowing that they are there as a partner for life, entrepreneurs and small business owners can know that you guys have a plethora of online tools in addition to the mentoring. That's one of the things that I really love about SCORE is that you can reach out to your mentor and they're available all hours depending on, you know, who your relationship with the SCORE mentors. And then you also have accessibility to their online library, which, as you mentioned, it has so many different things, business planning. It even has a step-by-step going from A to Z of how to start your business. And it is just so valuable for small businesses to understand that they're not alone when you're struggling, whether it's the first year or the 10th year. They can reach out to a SCORE representative, and so they can have that one-on-one mentoring or group mentoring, or even be able to just look through the library and watch one of the workshops. It is so valuable to small businesses, and I'm so glad we're able to bring you on today to promote the add value of SCORE. And I wanted to also talk to you about how someone could volunteer for SCORE, or how they can reach out to someone to get a mentor.
Well, it's really very simple. You can go to sanantonio.score.org or score.org, and there is you'll see the word volunteer, and you click on that, and that will take you to fill out an application to be a volunteer. If you are just looking for a mentor, it has it's a phrase that says find a mentor. And if you click on that, it will take you to the various chapters, you know, depending on what city you're in, if you want to find a mentor in your city, or you can take a mentor from anywhere in the country based on their profiles, because we all have a profile there that talk about what our background is, what our skills, what our experience and expertise are. So it's very, very simple. And I would like to say, Tiffany, a business has the best chance of success if our client, the person wanting to start a business particularly, has experience in that business and builds a business plan with their mentor. Now, business plans don't only apply to startups, they apply to existing businesses too. They are a roadmap to success. If you have a good business plan, and you only want to use it internally, it will help you reach your goals, because it is an objective roadmap, if you will. It lays out exactly how you're going to succeed, in what order, what are the milestones along the way. If you need funding, then a business plan is mandatory. You cannot get funding from a bank or a venture capitalist or an angel or Aunt Louise or anyone else without a business plan.
I agree.
SCORE is known for business plans.
Yes, and very knowledgeable experience and expertise in the fields. With the COVID and some of the I guess the uncertainties that are out there right now, mentoring doesn't have to be in person, face to face, right? What other
Correct.
options do you have that are available?
Yeah, we mentor by phone, we mentor by email, believe it or not,
Nice.
and by Zoom. Right now, of course, we're all mainly using Zoom and telephone, and it's working out really well. Some of our members had never used Zoom before, like many of the people listening today. Now we're going to come out of this COVID-19 situation. I think everyone's going to benefit in using Zoom.
Yeah, what a great opportunity too, because then that allows you to reach even more people, that maybe don't want to drive an hour to San Antonio to meet with a mentor. They have that ability to email, Zoom, and it is just such an amazing opportunity to reach more people now. Unfortunately, things have happened and the pandemic has happened, but it has opened up a lot of creativity and a lot of innovation to be able to reach more of a target market. So it's a very good in that aspect. And Joe, just to kind of end the interview today, I am so excited to have you here today. And I wanted to ask you, if you had an opportunity to sit down with anyone in the world and have a conversation, who would it be with and why?
Boy, that's a really hard question. The people, this is going to sound strange. If I could have a conversation with anyone, unfortunately, most of the people I thought of are dead. There've been so many historically influential people who I would love to be able to sit down and talk with. In today's world, I have a very difficult time with answering that. I'm sure as soon as we get off your podcast, I'll think of 5 names. But at this point in time, no, I don't have any. I don't have any heroes in politics at the moment. I don't have any people who might be considered celebrities. So. I hate to do that to you, but I really can't come up with a name. I will say this.
Historically.
Yeah, well, historically, this is going to be really kind of crazy. 2 people I would love to be able to have a conversation with. One is Cary Grant, and the other one's Katharine Hepburn.
Love it.
I just admired those 2 people so much for so many reasons. I liked her independence, and she was a feminist before I think the word was coined. And I liked his business sense. He had tremendous business sense. A lot of people don't realize this. He was the first actor to ever get a percentage of his films instead of a salary. That had never been done before. He was way ahead of his time. But those 2, have always just been 2 people that I thought, gosh, I wish I would have known them. And there is one other one, and that's Louis Armstrong, because I am a musician, and I've always admired his ability to play and to have a voice like he had, and yet could sing like no one else. I mean, it was just amazing to me. So there you are.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again so much for being at Business at Tiffany's. And I look forward to seeing how we can continue to help small business entrepreneurs and business owners to succeed and survive.
Well, thank you for having me. It's really been a pleasure. I appreciate your support of SCORE, and I hope people will remember to just go to score.org, and they will find all the resources they need to start up a business, grow a business, buy, sell, or merge a business.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Joe.
All right. Take care.